Welcome to my channel, Creepix. The hospice house that I work at was previously a children's psych facility. Upstairs is the hospice house, and downstairs is a small, assisted living respite for the PACE participants. I could write a book about all the stuff I experienced. I worked there several years ago, then left and recently came back. They did a huge remodel last year, and since then I guess don't have as much activity because none of the newer staff have ever experienced anything, and the two OGs said they don't really ever notice anything anymore either. One of the girls from downstairs said they still hear kids playing all the time. My grandma was a patient there, not quite 2 years before I started working there. She ended up going home to pass, but had been there for a few weeks in room 138. A couple of coworkers had also had family in that room. One night, one of the RNs came down to where we were sitting and said, "Can you go help your patient in 38 with the phone?" They called the desk, and all you can hear is rustling in the background. The other CNA and I looked at each other because there wasn't a patient in that room. So we went in to see, and the air was so thick you could cut it with a knife, and we both got goosebumps. Several months later, we had forgotten about it. It was the other CNA and I again, but this time, different RNs. So one of the RNs comes down and tells us, "Hey, the patient in 38 called the desk and asked if someone was going to check on him." So again, we look at each other and ask the RN if HQ said what he wanted, and she said, "No, he just said his name was Derek, and he wanted to know if someone was going to check on him." Fast forward another several months. I'm sitting at the desk filling out my report sheet and the phone rings. I look at the caller ID. It's room 138. I pick it up and just hear rustling in the background, but no one says anything. It happened at least one other time on a night I wasn't there to the same RN it happened to the first time because the next night when I worked, she had me come sit with her because she was spooked. One night, the same RN, ghosts always messed with her BC, she was scared, came down and asked me to come sit with her. She was sitting next to the staff entrance and kept hearing someone knocking, and she was afraid it was someone wanting to steal drugs or something. The glass was frosted, so you couldn't really see anything, but it did look like there was an outline of someone standing there. So we went to the front door to look and see if we saw anyone. No one was there, so we went back and sat down. Sure enough, we hear knocking again. I thought maybe it was the patient in the room next to the door, so we went to check on her. She told us she was okay and didn't need anything, but she did keep hearing someone knock on her door and wondered what she should do, because no one answered when she told them to come in. Another night, we had a patient pass right at shift change, and we were getting 2 admissions back to back. So we went and did post-mortem care really quick because the other admission was coming any minute. We got to open the window. The funeral home comes, we get everyone settled, and we sit down to chart. Then, the emergency broadcast sound, like when there's a storm or Amber Alert or something, plays out of nowhere. None of the TVs around us were on, and the weather radio didn't go off. Normally, the sound plays a couple of times and the person will announce whatever the broadcast is or say it's a test. The sound only played once, and no announcement was made. We thought it was weird, but whatever. So later in the night, I go get us all food. I come back, and everyone is sitting there waiting on food. The pager starts going off, and it's the tone that plays when a bathroom call light is going off or when someone rings the doorbell. I had just come in from outside, so I know no one is out there. It's a bathroom call light, but the patient in that room was completely bedbound. So we go in there, and the call light is pulled down, but the patient is sound asleep. It's probably half an hour later, and the same exact thing happens in a different room. We realize we didn't open the window after the patient passed, so we went in and opened it, and nothing else happened the rest of the night. Sometimes weird things would happen, then we would go do our rounds and someone would be gone. One night we were standing at the center nurses' station talking to one of the nurses on our way to start rounds. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw a flash of light in the foyer area. It almost looked like a glare from a door being opened, but no one was over there. I thought it was my eyes playing tricks on me, but the other girl saw it too. So we go down, and in the first room, we go to the patient is gone. We let the nurse know, And she doesn't believe us because she had just checked on him 5 minutes before, and he was still alive.